Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms. And I would like to welcome you back to the Lightning Flash Update right here on YouTube.com as WrestleMania draws nearer and nearer. You already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. This is the Lightning Flash Update for March 30th, 2018. And we are just 3 months done with 2018 as WrestleMania is just over a week away. Not much happened on this week in WWE television. Obviously, 205 Live and NXT was great. And, Raw and SmackDown, very lackluster. Very lackluster. Obviously, they have WrestleMania down perfectly. They have it laid out perfectly. This is probably one of the best, if not the best WrestleMania card I've seen since I started watching WWE. But Raw and SmackDown, they didn't really go all in with their shows, did not really go all in with the build. So, Raw started off with Brock Lesnar and Heyman kicking off the show, basically talking about how Reigns' suspension had been lifted, and that Reigns wasn't there. And by the way, it got cheers, so for those of you who said that Roman Reigns is over as a babyface, sit down once again. Although I don't need to say that, I'm going to. Reigns then came out, just like he did last week, and Lesnar just clotheslined the shit out of Roman Reigns. And then after that, Reigns does what Reigns does best, and he made a Superman-like comeback and started to beat Lesnar down with a chair. Lesnar then fought back, hitting Roman Reigns with chair shot after chair shot after chair shot. And the crowd were actually chanting one more time. And let me tell you something, Cleveland, you did your job, Cleveland. I support you. I support you in every way, shape, and form. I may come visit Cleveland sometime. I'm very proud of the city of Cleveland. You did your job and you booed Roman Reigns. Props to you. Then there was an F5 on the steel steps, and that was pretty much it. Once again, Raw is a 2 to 3 highlight show. Nia Jackson defeated Mickie James in a quick and meaningless match. She nearly got her hands on Alexa and then called Alexa a bitch because it wouldn't be a women's feud if one girl didn't call the other girl a bitch. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon then had a very good promo package. Obviously, this is all to hype the mixed tag team match with Kurt, Stephanie, Triple H, and Ronda Rousey. Then we got a Cruiserweight match. God bless the Cruiserweights, man. God bless the Cruiserweights. I love my Cruiserweights. Anytime I get a Cruiserweight match, I'm fully invested in what the Cruiserweights are doing. Some of the best athletes in the WWE right now. Cedric Alexander, sorry I moved the table there. And Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali defeated TJP and Drew Gulak. This was a fun match for what it was, but the important thing is what happened in the middle of this match. Mustafa Ali made the blind tag to Cedric Alexander when Cedric was going for the neuralizer, and Mustafa stole the win with the 054. Very good, nice little touch there. They're promoting Mustafa Ali as a man who would do anything in his power in order to win. So I like what they're doing. They're trying to one-up each other, Cedric and Mustafa. I can't wait to see the match at WrestleMania. They actually had a good promo on 205 Live the following night, which I'm going to get to. Miz TV with Balor and Seth Rollins. Obviously, they're running out of ideas to promote the IC title triple threat match. Rollins said to appreciate the Miztourage after the Miz ranted and raved all over Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Then, Finn Balor came out after Bo Dallas called The Miz a phony A-lister who can't fight. And then Axel turned on The Miz when The Miz called himself a better champion than Mr. Perfect. For those of you who do not know, Mr. Perfect is Curtis Axel's father. Then the Miztourage revealed that this was all a false act, and the Miztourage started to beat down Balor and Rollins until the Balor Club came out to help them, and Balor stood tall. He took a shot at Seth Rollins, and we had a glorious sight of Finn Balor holding up the Intercontinental Championship. And let me tell you something. Finn Balor, he is the right man to hold that title. It was like he was bred for that title. Asuka then defeated a jobber with one kick, in which I laughed my ass off. One kick to the side of the head, and Jamie Frost was out like a light. Matt Hardy is in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He is one of the handful of guys that I can see winning that Battle Royal. Obviously, I suggested Elias. Matt Hardy's another one, and I will talk about the last one when we get to the SmackDown show review. Can I just say right now that Elias is perhaps one of the best modern day gimmicks that I've ever seen. Not only was he taking shots at the Browns, saying how bad are the Browns. I'm sorry if this offends you, Cleveland. He always takes shots at the city that he's in, and I always laugh my ass off at that. But he also did a promo package for a Snickers. And the little commercial, it wasn't really part of Raw, but they had him in an alphabet t-shirt in a classroom. And he was strumming the guitar, going, oh, 1, 2, 3, wee, come and count along with me. And I was laughing my ass off right there. And I believe it said, you're absurd when you're hungry. Elias is a national treasure, I'm sorry. He really is. Bayley and Sasha continued to brawl backstage. They actually had an unofficial heel turn, I'm guessing. All the more reason why Sasha and Bayley should have been the Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. Braun Strowman defeated Sheamus. It was a decent match for what it was, but no one really cared in the end of all things. Angle then came out, and he introduced Ronda Rousey, and let me tell you something. This whole segment was a cringe fest. A complete cringe fest. And then Absolution came out, and Ronda Rousey then just destroyed Absolution. And listen. I get that Ronda Rousey is still nervous. I get it. And I get she will improve with time. However, I believe I reported a few Lightning Flash updates ago that Ronda Rousey is being considered, or is slated, I think, to end Asuka's streak next year at WrestleMania. Should they go with that route? Let me tell you something. Should they go with that route? Ronda, you better impress me. You better prove yourself worthy of ending Asuka's undefeated streak. You better prove to me that you've got all it takes, that you are the top woman on that brand in order to end Asuka's undefeated streak. I hope you prove it. Let me tell you something. There's only one streak that I said should not have ended, and that was The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. As we speak right now, I know Asuka's streak needs to come to an end, but if this is the Ronda Rousey that we're going to be getting for a year, which I don't think it is, but you never really know. If this is the Ronda Rousey we are getting, then Ember Moon or Kairi Sane should be considered to end Asuka's undefeated streak. Ember Moon, because why not? Ember Moon is perhaps one of the best, if not the best talent in the WWE right now. She is the best female talent in the WWE right now, alongside Asuka and possibly Sasha Banks. Why wouldn't you want Ember Moon to end the streak? Ember Moon could hold that torch high. Ember Moon could really bring prestige to whichever championship she decides to go for, whether she goes for Asuka or not. But I would really love to see her go for Asuka based on their last two encounters. Balor Club then defeated The Miz Taraj. Elias then defeated Rhino. We got Rollins versus Balor next week. Angle, Rousey, Stephanie, and Triple H will face off next week. Cena then defeated Kane in an LDQ match. I really couldn't care less. Cena, again, cut a great promo on The Undertaker. We have one more week to go until WrestleMania. I believe next week is the week we will see the American Badass. I really love the American Badass gimmick. I really loved the way it came off. I really loved the way that The Undertaker was so committed to that gimmick just as much as the Dead Man gimmick. We could be in for a very good go-home show next week. Now, on to SmackDown Live. It was a decent show. Much better than Monday Night Raw. Show started off with Rusev and Jinder Mahal defeating Randy Orton and Bobby Roode. Sunil Singh was injured, so Jinder Mahal recruited Rusev. And Rusev pinned Randy Orton next week. It has been confirmed that Rusev is in the U.S. title match at WrestleMania. So in 2 weeks, we're going to see Rusev, Mahal, Orton, and Rude in a fatal 4-way match for the U.S. title. I love what Nakamura is doing. I like how he continues to tease AJ. I like how he just continues to get under the skin of AJ. He asked for AJ's assistance at ringside with his match with Benjamin. You know, like, I'm worried about you, AJ. You're losing your confidence. I like what they're doing. I like the mind games that Nakamura's playing. Becky Lynch defeated Ruby Riott. It was a decent match for what it was. And Becky Lynch, obviously, is still over with the crowd. She, if not Bayley, if not Sasha, Becky Lynch is one of the most deserving female talents that I think should win that Women's Battle Royal. She really hasn't gotten what she deserves as of lately. She really deserves all the credit in the world and all the praise in the world and a lengthy title reign. She really hasn't done anything relevant since her feud with Alexa Bliss. Why not put her in a position where she could win the Women's Battle Royal and possibly challenge the Empress of Tomorrow in the near future? Or maybe she can go to Raw. She could battle Carmella for the Raw Women's title. Daniel Bryan then addressed the WWE Universe on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and Bryan once again cuts a fantastic promo. Without a doubt, Daniel Bryan is one of the top modern-day draws that WWE has. I would really like to see him get back into the title hunt very soon after WrestleMania. He made it official. It is Bryan and Shane versus Owens and Zayn at WrestleMania, and if Owens and Zayn win, Owens and Zayn get their job backs. And he vows to kick Owens and Zayn's asses at WrestleMania. Great promo. The Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day was interrupted by the Usos. And the Usos and the New Day actually held their ground in the ring until the Bludgeon Brothers came in and started wailing the mallets at the New Day and the Usos. And the New Day and the Usos said, nope, we're out of here. It has been confirmed. It is going to be New Day versus Usos versus Bludgeon Brothers for the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. And I do have some news on the possible stipulation of that match. Breezango and Dolph Ziggler are both in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Dolph Ziggler defeated Tyler Breeze. Now, what happened during this match was nothing special. Really nothing special, but what happened outside the ring during this match was hilarious. First things first, Tyler Breeze actually competed in his 1,000th match in WWE. Congratulations to Tyler Breeze. So Fandango was being chased by Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler was trying to run away from Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze and Dolph Ziggler then slid back into the ring. And Fandango, he's always finding new ways to crack me up. He was running around the ring like an idiot, as if he was running a marathon. And by the end of the match, he was leaning over the announce table with stomach cramps. And then Dolph Ziggler super kicked his head off. And Fandango kept his leg up after Ziggler super kicked him. I don't know what is it about Fandango, man, but Fandango is one of the funniest superstars that they got on SmackDown Live. I would really like to see him and Tyler Breeze get a SmackDown Live Tag Team title shot in the near future. Shinsuke Nakamura then defeated Shelton Benjamin. Decent match for what it was. But what happened after the match was very interesting. Nakamura said, "This is how I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania. I wanted you to be out here because I wanted you to see the knee to the face that is going to end your WWE title reign." AJ got fired up. AJ got very intense in this promo, basically saying, outside of me, you are considered the best. And I'm looking to beat the best at WrestleMania. I will prove that I am phenomenal, and this is the house that AJ Styles built. I like when AJ's fired up. I like the intensity that AJ is showing. Nakamura said, this is just it. This is just it. I'm very calm, cool, and collective. AJ, you are too emotional. Again, the mind games coming into play. Nakamura is always calm, cool, and collective when AJ gets emotional in a big match situation. I like what they're doing there. And then after that was all over and done with, Nakamura was walking away, and Benjamin and Gable attacked Styles, Nakamura made the save. And then Nakamura propped himself up in the corner. Nakamura looked like he was ready to kick AJ Styles' head off. Nakamura looked like he was going to hit that knee to the face and Styles was going to be turned inside out. But Nakamura then stopped himself right in front of AJ Styles and looked at him with that cocky, confident smile, said knee to face, and patted him on the head like a beast. They're proving that you do not need to make contact and you don't need all that physicality that Roman and Lesnar are doing in order to build a feud. Nakamura and AJ, a very intriguing feud. Mind games is everything when it comes to Nakamura. On to 205 Live. 205 Live, what can I say about 205 Live, man? I'm a sucker for the Cruiserweights, number one. Number two, 205 Live only continues to get better. Obviously, Drake Maverick on commentary made it that much more better. Mark Andrews then defeated Tony Nese in a very good match. Mark Andrews pulling out all the stops in order to defeat Tony Nese. Mark Andrews actually survived a wicked discus forearm. Tony Nese slid outside the ring, quick as a cat, and did a beautiful discus forearm right to the face of Mark Andrews, and it looked like Mark Andrews was out permanently. But Mark Andrews, he fought back. Mark Andrews was able to hit that Stun Dog Millionaire and the Shooting Star Press. And, again, I like what they're doing. They are building undercard feuds for NXT, for 205 Live. 205 Live now is the undercard feud of Drew Gulak and Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews has been gifted a match with Gulak by Maverick. That's happening next week. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali, they cut a very good promo. They're portraying Cedric Alexander as a hero, as an underdog that will fight and fight and fight and fight till he's got nothing left to fight for. Mustafa Ali, like what they're doing with Ali, the mind games again coming into play. Mustafa Ali saying, Cedric, yeah, you're good and, you deserve all these championship opportunities, but, when push comes to shove, you just can't get the job done. They're doing a very good job building that feud up. Can't wait to see the match at Mania once again. The Fatal 4-Way match. This was a fantastic match all around. I cannot say enough good about this match. It was Buddy Murphy versus Kalisto versus Akira Tozawa versus TJP. I called Buddy Murphy to win this Fatal 4-Way match, and that's exactly what he did. TJP, man, I don't know what is it with TJP. I don't know how the hell TJP does it. He was pulling off double submission holds with a inverted figure 4 on Tozawa and a modified gory special stretch on Kalisto at the same time. I have no idea how the hell TJP does it, but if this is the TJP that we're going to be seeing night in and night out on 205 Live, I would love to see more. TJP was never presented in this light before, other than in the Cruiserweight Classic. Keep this up. And TJP could be back into Cruiserweight title contention. Buddy Murphy pulling off all the stops in order to take out everyone in the match. Corkscrew senton to Akira and Kalisto. And Murphy won with Murphy's Law, the pump handle Death Valley driver. And Murphy gets a huge win, possibly looking into a Cruiserweight Championship title match after WrestleMania. Now, NXT. NXT started off with Ciampa walking through the parking lot and confronting William Regal. And Ciampa basically said, listen, Johnny Gargano has attacked me in my place of work. He's come to my physical therapy meetings. He came to my house at 3 a.m. in the morning. Johnny's out of line. What are you going to do about it? Regal makes it official. It's Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano, almost a year in the making. And it's going to be an unsanctioned match. If Gargano wins, he gets his job back. If Ciampa wins, then Gargano's banished from NXT for good. Expect another 5-star classic. Maybe even better than Gargano and Almas. Regal then also announced the institution of the North American Championship. I can't wait to see what it looks like. And then EC3. Ethan Carter III, the privileged 1%er EC3, came to the NXT ring, basically stated, this is the place to be. This is what it's all about. It's all about NXT. And I knew that NXT was smart to sign me, but now you're giving me the North American Championship. And William Regal says, no. We're going to have a 6-way ladder match at WrestleMania weekend at TakeOver New Orleans. EC3 is in it. It's going to be EC3 versus Killian Dane versus Lars Sullivan versus the Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole, baby. And the newest signee, Ricochet. And he was shown exiting William Regal's office at the end of NXT. I cannot wait to see this ladder match. This could very well be a match of the year candidate and one of the best matches in NXT history. Mark my words. The Street Profits then were defeated. They were defeated by the Authors of Pain in the semifinals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. This was a short, quick match for the Authors of Pain. And, at the same time, I like what they're doing and I don't like what they're doing. I don't like that the Street Profits are losing now, but I do like that they're holding off with the Street Profits. They are preserving their moment for a bigger stage. And to be quite honest, if they were to give the Street Profits the NXT Tag Team titles at TakeOver Chicago in June or TakeOver Brooklyn 4 in August, they could have a 5-month-long reign with them, and then, possibly, I for one would love to see a tag team title match between the Street Profits and TM61. That right there, that's a tag team match of the year if I've ever seen one since the day of the Revival and DIY. Love to see that match. Lars Sullivan defeated a jobber, and that was pretty much that, obviously promoting his match at TakeOver New Orleans. Andrade Cien Almas interrupted Dakota Kai's entrance, and Andrade Cien Almas was just beating the shit out of Aleister Black, throwing him in a tub of water, throwing him against the car, throwing him through the audience. He left Aleister Black in the middle of the ring, and he was on the stage just hoisting the title up like a badass. Hoisting the title up like a badass, saying, "This is what happens when you disrespect me. This is what happens when you disrespect El Idolo." Andrade Cien Almas is the picture-perfect definition of a foreign heel. You cannot get any better than Andrade Cien Almas. Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong then defeated Sanity in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic semifinal match. Very good match for what it was. Next week, we got Strong and Dunne versus AOP in the finals, and Killian Dane versus Lars Sullivan. Battle of the Behemoths coming to you from NXT next week. I cannot wait. Now, onto the weekly show news, rumors, and reports, rather. According to Sports Illustrated, Rey Mysterio was being considered to be Braun Strowman's partner at WrestleMania. However, he is out with a torn bicep and is not cleared right now. However, if Rey Mysterio is cleared, Vince McMahon is strongly considering Rey Mysterio to be Braun Strowman's partner. Now, at the same time, I like this and I don't like this. I like that they're bringing Mysterio back in a big way. But I would really like to see Mysterio either win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal or appear on Raw or SmackDown after WrestleMania. I mean, can you imagine what Rey Mysterio could do in the Cruiserweight division? You would be bringing even more relevancy to 205 Live. Can you imagine what Mysterio could do on SmackDown Live? You could see Mysterio versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Mysterio versus Owens, Mysterio versus Zayn, Mysterio versus Orton, Mysterio versus Rude, Mysterio versus Styles. Can you imagine what Mysterio can do outside of Braun Strowman's partner? That would be fantastic. I would much like to see Joe become Braun Strowman's tag team partner. That would be better. Moving on, according to Cage Side Seats. Now, I do not know if this is entirely true. Most likely it's not, because if this is true, Shane McMahon is Superman in disguise. He really is. According to Cage Side Seats, Shane McMahon is expected to return next week. For those of you who do not know and are confused on why I'm saying that, Shane McMahon is currently in the hospital with a real-life case of diverticulitis. Diverticulitis is not something that is to be taken lightly. Diverticulitis is serious, incredibly severe. If Shane McMahon is able to compete at WrestleMania, I would be A, genuinely shocked, B, astonished at the fact that Shane is even able to walk around on his feet without personal medical attention, and C, I would really have a newfound respect for Shane McMahon because that's how much he is dedicated to this business. But I am very, 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 very against Shane McMahon coming out next week. I really don't think Shane McMahon is going to show up on SmackDown Live and support Daniel Bryan in the tag team match with Owens and Zayn. They're going to have to find a replacement. Next, now according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, listen to this. The reason why Rusev was added to the United States Championship match at WrestleMania 34 was because of his massive growth in merchandise sales. Wow! WWE actually did the right thing. WWE did the right thing, and they put a guy who is massively popular in merchandise sales in a championship match on the grandest stage of them all. This was a fantastic move. Props to whoever made this move. Now, if only we can get Styles merchandise sales to go even higher so we can get him in the main event of WrestleMania instead of Roman Reigns. If only we can boost Elias' sales even more, because Elias, he's in the top 3 right now, I believe. Elias, I would much rather see him competing for the Universal title match rather than Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. But, if this keeps up, why don't we get some Cedric Alexander merchandise in there? Boost that up. Why don't we get some Apollo merchandise in there? Boost that up. Boost up Nakamura's merchandise. Boost up the Zayn. Boost up the Owens. Love to see that. Now, it's time for my weekly shout-out to, of course, Mr. Slice Wrestling. Go and follow him at Slice Wrestling. This is a direct quote from him, and I quote, "Report, No Way Jose is among the names being discussed to be called up to the main roster after WrestleMania." Now, I am for this and against this in a certain manner. It is a gray area with guys like No Way Jose. Number one, obviously, I think it's time because there's really nothing for No Way Jose to do, number one. Number two, they're not utilizing him in NXT. And number three, he's been in NXT since 2016. At some point, you got to come up. But amongst the other names, this is the only name I have right now. It's No Way Jose. I will be sure to check up on any other names possible to come up to the main roster in the coming weeks, or possibly the next week, because WrestleMania is right around the corner. One, I think, is possibly Cassius Ohno. Cassius Ohno, he doesn't really have anything to do in NXT. Another one, if not Aleister Black, since he's going to be NXT champion, I can see Andrade Cien Almas coming up. I can see Almas going to SmackDown Live. Drew McIntyre coming up as well. In that case, you could put Cassius Ohno on Raw. You could put No Way Jose on Raw. They're the big guys over there. You could put Drew McIntyre on SmackDown, have him face Owens, Nakamura, Zayn, and so on. You can have Andrade Cien Almas on SmackDown Live. So the talent coming up from NXT, they could be looking at some very good opportunities on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown if done correctly. And my final report of the day. As reported by Cage Side Seats, the rumor going around is that the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship Triple Threat match at WrestleMania will be a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Can you imagine? Can you imagine a TLC match between the Usos, the New Day, and the Bludgeon Brothers? This right here is the personification of the recreation of the Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian. If this is legit and this is going to be made official, we could be in for a show stealer, possibly a match of the year candidate. This, without a doubt, this right here, if this is a TLC match, this could also be considered a 5-star classic, along with Gargano and Ciampa. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they do. I'm praying right now that this is legit. And there, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every one of you who tuned into this video live. Do not forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at TheDJStorms. Do not forget to check out the Lightning Flash Update next week. Do not forget to check out the rundown for NXT TakeOver New Orleans, which I will be posting next week, and the rundown for WrestleMania, which I will be posting on April 7th. If you missed it, I posted my Rescue Mania weekend a couple of days ago if you want to go check that out. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. Thank you for joining me here on YouTube.com. You have a great weekend, and I will see you next week.